Found text messages to another guy. Me wife, how should I handle it? Background. Me and my wife have been together for almost 8 years. Married almost 4. This is both out second marriages. Hers, she was married for 20 years. He cheated on her. Me, married for 6 years, just fell apart from each other and was for the better. Been living together for 7 years. Bought a house 3.5 years ago. She has 2 kids. Grown adults. I have 2 kids, 1 adult, married F, other is teenage boy. No kids in the house full time, unmarried ones, and obviously teenager, stay for periods of time. We've had a good relationship. Within the past 6 months to a year, it's been rocky. But no major fights. No yelling. No nothing. About 2 months ago, something felt wrong in my gut. I just couldn't shake it. I've known the password to her phone our whole relationship. I pay the cell phone bill, it is 100% in my name. I pay for her 22 years olds also. They are all on my line. She got up to go upstairs to do something, which I knew would take a couple of minutes. Change over laundry. Her phone was on the couch. So I opened it and went to her texts. And that's where I saw them. I quickly scanned over them. They were sexual in nature. I didn't see them all. But I saw enough. She came back downstairs and I didn't say anything. I wanted to think. Her son was also in the living room, but napping on the couch, so he didn't see anything. I started to go upstairs and I called her to come upstairs. I didn't want to wake him up or anything. She came up and I just hit her with, "Who is he?" I could tell it took her off guard because she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Be honest with me. Tell me who he is." I said, "I'm giving you this opportunity to come 100% clean. Now." There was zero yelling. Zero raising of the voice. I said, "I saw your text messages. I had a feeling in my gut that has not been sitting right. So I looked, and I saw them. Who is he?" She finally broke down and told me. She said it was a guy from bowling. She said it was nothing more than text messages and never crossed beyond that line. So we talked for about 15 minutes. I took part of the blame as there had been some neglect there and she obviously was looking for attention. "I get it," I said. "What can we do to fix this?" "How about counseling?" she said. "Let's talk to someone and work on our communication skills." I agreed. And we have set that up for a few sessions already. And our communication has been very good and a lot better. There are things that have opened my eyes that I need to personally work on. And she has admitted likewise. She has also admitted that there are blockers up right now as far as wanting to be intimate that she is trying to overcome. As she pointed out things that were lacking beforehand. Not as much casual random touching. Or feeling wanted by me. I do admit, she had put on weight from when we started dating, and in the back of my mind that may have caused some issues, but I always loved her and I always wanted to be with her. I never cheated or went elsewhere. She has now lost the weight within the past 6 to 8 months from working hard, and also she had some minor liposuction done to get rid of her pregnancy skin that was there. Basically to tighten up her body. She looks great. And I have for sure noticed that. But I know she is for sure going to be getting more attention with the way she looks. She said he bowled with them on their league on another team. She said she was done with it and that it was a mistake and we will work on us. She also said he wasn't bowling there this year. For the past month or so I have really been making an effort to show her more attention. More cuddling. More random smacking of her butt passing by. Sitting together on the couch and just rubbing he legs. Falling asleep spooning, etc. I have also tried to send more flirty texts, tried to initiate intimacy and show that she is wanted. And in our weekly conversations, we have these for about an hour each week just to talk about the past week, how we are doing, how we each feel, etc. She has said she has seen these and she has noticed them. I have also noticed her being more receptive and looking happier. However, in trying to initiate intimacy, she is also turning me down as in I'm tired, I have an early morning, I'm spotting, etc. So in the past month it has been non-existent. We talked last night. Normal conversation. About trust and that I want to trust her and that I know it was broken and will take time to heal. She agreed. Now, a few weeks ago she changed her phone password. We talked about that. She said she feels that had I asked to see her phone and not just went through it, that it would have been a different story. But she said she is having conversations with her friends, talking about her and I's relationship and going through what we are going through, and she doesn't feel that I need to be privy to that conversation. Fine. I respect that. You need people to talk to. Gut feeling is still not quite right. She was in the shower this morning. Her Apple Watch was charging. I tried her code that I felt it would be, and sure enough, it opened. I went to messages, and just started scrolling. No name jumped out at me, no, just phone number. However, there was a name that had the bell with the line through it. So you don't get the notification. Stephanie. So I clicked on it. Sure enough. Messages to that guy. Pics from him. But there are conversations about making out again, etc. I took pics with my phone of one of the messages. I also got the phone number. I put it in my phone just under that number. I also started making notes. I googled the phone number. Found out his name. Address it was tied to. Found him on FB. It's the guy 100 billion%. Was able to see that he does in fact still bowl on the league. And they are bowling against each other next week. So they do mess around on that night after bowling for a bit before she comes home. She has flat out lied and said that it never went beyond that. The guy is a total tool. Looks like a loser. A total downgrade from anything she could ever get. I feel it's safe for her, as this is not someone she would ever be with in an actual relationship. Just my feelings, but a mess around guy. For sure. I did not confront her. We talked a little about us more this morning and what we can do to get things right. Kinda went nowhere. But I don't want to let on that I know 100%. I want to play the long game with her. I know she will charge her watch and leave it out there again. I am going to get more pics of the texts. More proof. I have proof of all the texts, not what they are, on the T-Mobile site that shows his number and texts. And some calls. Our anniversary is coming up and I had planned to take us out of town for the weekend. I'm probably going to cancel that. I had her 50th birthday party planned as a surprise that I had invited a bunch of friends to. I'm probably going to cancel that. We had a trip to Punta Cana planned with about 24 other people in February. That will probably be cancelled. Here's the kicker. 90% of her friends are my friends that she became friends with through our relationship. She has a small circle of friends. And most don't live by us. She will lose everything pretty much. Our friends. My family. My kids. She will put a strain on her relationship with her kids. She will have to find a place to live, which she does make good money, but it will be very hard. We have pets. Her ex-husband cheated on her. One of her ex-boyfriends was not 100% truthful with her. I have treated her as best as I can. Now, I am stuck with this of not knowing what to do. Do I let it play out and see what happens? Do I confront her with the absolute proof so she has zero leg to stand on? Do I randomly show up at the bowling alley one day? I bowl also at a different alley. But could just say I got done early. Do I blindside her with divorce papers? Do we separate? Do I bring up everything in counseling? I'm not a violent person. But I have friends that will have my back on this guy if I were to confront him with no problem. What are my options here? I'm looking for help in making a knowledgeable decision. I would love to save my marriage. Comment. How many more lies from your wife do you want? She's already done enough to boot out the door. She's constantly lying to your face. Just rip the band-aid off and stop torturing yourself and wasting so much time. You know how this ends, just do it. You can also bet the sex you're not getting he is. I would scope out the parking lot of the bowling alley where they will be and catch her in the act. You have given her multiple opportunities and she continues to deceive you. She deserves to be humiliated. Him too. Just don't get physical, she ain't worth it. Hang in there dude, you deserve better. When you're convinced you need to convince yourself, you're stalling. Not faulting you for that, this is very difficult and we have our coping mechanisms. But the reality is, she has it bad for this guy and forcing her to do anything will only add justification to her behavior. So ask yourself this, is this the life you want to live? Seeing if she's still in her virtual cage? Always wondering if it's some other dude she's thinking about even while having sex? Is that the life you want to live? You may think stalking is helping at the moment, but it's likely making it worse. Would it be easier to start over now or when you're older and your options begin to dwindle? You may cross paths with your true person, but sail past each other like ships in the night because you insist on sticking it out. Sorry bro, your marriage is broken. You don't need evidence or proof that would stand up in court. You already know you know. Take control of your life. Don't let someone else control it. Think it's bad now? It will be magnitudes worse each time you catch her because she will learn to be a better liar. Good luck to you. I don't see any point in confronting the guy. This issue is with your wife, and if it wasn't this guy it would be a different guy. This is an issue with her. Do you really want to chase off this guy only to have to always be on guard that there is someone else she is talking to in secret? Talk to a lawyer to find out what your potential future looks like at the very least. Many states here do not take fidelity into account during divorce proceedings, and also some of those same states will award alimony starting at 10 years for a set amount of time. Only a local lawyer can tell you what steps are safe. At this point, I very much doubt her ex was the only unfaithful one in that marriage. When you're at the snooping point, there are already so many problems add cheating onto that, and it's a train wreck. Food for thought. Everyone deserves privacy, regardless of who pays the phone bill, and if you're going to insist on this point, then make sure the phone users know it to give them the option to get their own phones. I'm not hating on you for snooping, as I know you reached that point of distrust, but a good relationship would have had a lot more communication before snooping. You didn't trust her before even knowing she was untrustworthy, or you knew she was untrustworthy for other reasons. She got caught and continued. There's no going back for this one, I think, so this is just advice for your next, hopefully happier, relationship. I never condone cheating, and you are right to end it, but at the end of the day, he found her attractive with the extra weight and before the liposuction, and you didn't. Some self-reflection on this issue might help in your future relationships. You're the guy that leaves the wife if she gets breast cancer because she no longer looks good. You don't need some ironclad justification in order to be allowed to exit the relationship. She can't force you to stay if you no longer want to be there. Frankly, she probably knows about your reluctance to walk out, and it empowers her to keep pushing the envelope, thinking you will swallow it. She's more likely to behave if she knows beyond a shadow of a doubt it won't be tolerated and she'll lose everything. Or she won't, and you will fire her for cause, and you'll be done with her bullshit. But it's getting increasingly clear that she believes that as long as she hasn't actually lost you, she's getting away with it. In this situation, the betrayed partner becomes his worst enemy. The wayward is sometimes months or years ahead of your situation, as she has already left the relationship that you are trying to save now. Don't lie/gaslight yourself up. Don't believe a wayward words. You judge her by her actions. She is not the same person up. She blindsided you and lied to you. She has to earn your trust back and persuade you that she can become a safe partner again. Last and not least, put yourself first and do never burn yourself to keep someone else warm. Stay strong. Not certain why you need more proof to divorce. She's at least having an emotional affair and possibly physical. And for women, an emotional affair may be worse, which is why she continued this and lied to your face for a year while pretending to reconcile. There's a reason she lost weight and isn't having sex with you. Check your cell phone bill. It'll show calls and texts. Check your credit card statements. Check her ATM withdrawals for times and locations. Do you have Find My Phone? I've read about people putting a VAR pen in the car for proof. But, if you divorce, do it quietly. Hire an attorney, file and cite infidelity and this guy's name. My friend warned her husband and he promptly withdrew all joint funds, ran up the joint credit cards, and his money. Filing first allows a bit of control over the process and control over the narrative. Get a PO box to receive any mail you don't want her to see. Open a solo account at the bank if you have a joint account. Have a solo credit card. Once you file, that usually freezes everything. Ask your attorney if you can move just less than half of any joint funds. Keep an eye on any credit card purchases. Best wishes and keep us updated. Don't wait too long to file. You could actually get started next week and still look for information. I'm also big on knowledge because it is important to me.